Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is the Diaspora Panel, the voice of the diaspora. I am here in Dublin. I'm with Mr. Olaito Adedigba, who is based in United States of America. Mr. Adedigba, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And also with Mr. Olalawal from Calgary, Canada. Mr. Olalawal, you're also welcome.
Thank you for having me, and good day to our viewers.
I want to say a big thank you to all our new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're one of our viewers and you've not yet subscribed, please click that button now. It's free of charge. It means anytime we do a new video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. Tonight, we want to discuss in detail why the North is ganging up against Tinubu. And Tinubu has barely been in power for only 2 years. And looking at all the things he has done, his trajectory in the last 2 years, he has done so much. He has removed the subsidy, he has removed the forex arbitrage. I mean, he has implemented the NEL fund. So many things he's done. He has paid all the debt to the World Bank, to the IMF. So, so many. This is still the best president in Nigeria's history, considering all the things he has done in the last 2 years. But we now know that there is a gang up. There are people who have come together not because, not because they have a better idea, but because they want Tinubu to go back to Lagos in 2027. And when you look at this group who have come together, who say that they want Tinubu to go back, is it Atiku Abubakar? If you go by what President Obama wrote in his book about Atiku Abubakar, is it Abubakar that is going to replace Tinubu? Or is it El Rufai, who was in Kaduna for 8 years, and there's no notable, developmental changes in Kaduna? Who is there? So let me start with you, Mr. Lalawa. This scandal, Tinubu is only been in power for 2 years. Why is he not so desperate to take power back only after 24 months?
Well, thank you so much. I think there are so many reasons for this. Obviously there is a bit of a power shift since the 2023 presidential elections, with more of the APC side of the Tinubu side of the APC, being much more in control. There's been also a fractured APC alliance, and there's growing internal discontent. And I would say that that growing discontent is significantly, from key members who are from the North. Nasir El-Rufai, former Kaduna governor, particularly, distanced himself, reportedly frustrated over the failure of the Tinubu administration to prioritize infrastructure and security concerns in the North. But I think if we go to the core of the issue, I think the real issue why it seems the North is ganging up is because of the economic policies, and I would put it as a kind of regional discontent. If you look at Tinubu's economic reforms, fuel subsidy removal, naira flotation, these are moves that were praised by global financial institutions, although it caused immediate inflation and disproportionately affected people in the North. I think the reality is that a lot of the beneficiaries, in these areas mostly are from the North. If you look, for example, at naira flotation, most of the people who are very, very involved in, the currency in the black market are Northerners. I mean, it's a known industry for Northerners. So when you begin to look at it, this, likely hurt them a lot financially. And with that Northern Alliance side not having much say in the current Tinubu administration, I think there's a growing discontent that, they are not included. So those two things, I would say, have really galvanized that kind of Northern opposition. Especially now looking more at how insecurity is affecting the North. I would say though that insecurity in the North is not a lack of the Tinubu administration working to get security. It is basically one of the items that they are using to attack the government. I would say northern governors, if they are the chief security officers of their respective states, have the immediate responsibility to deal with these issues and tackle them in the north. Why we are here today is because they have mostly abrogated that responsibility. So Tinubu is not, the only person, I would say to blame. I think every northerner who is blaming who's blaming the federal government should equally be pointing at themselves, for not doing enough, as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me pause you there. When Buhari was there for 8 years, we saw instances where snakes swallowing money. We saw instances where there was an accountant general who said about 109 billion naira. There are so many bad things that happened that, but there was no gang up. No gang up. So this man has only been on the saddle for only 2 years. All the debts that Nigeria owed the World Bank have been cleared. When Tinubu got there, Nigeria was servicing debt with about 94, 95%. That has now been reduced. In fact, it's been totally paid now. So, and we've seen all the great stuff this government is doing. Now, these people are ganging up. They have not come out to say they're ganging up because Tinubu is not performing. They are saying because there's hardship. But we know there's hardship because he has removed the arbitrage in forex. So some people who are benefiting from that, they are fighting back. He has removed the subsidy in the oil industry. People who are eating from the subsidy are fighting back. There's an instance of the son of a former PDP chairman who was recently taken to court by EFCC. I think he's been jailed for collecting about $1.5 billion fake subsidy. So these are people like so. Right on this gang up. Do you think it is justified?
The whole gang up is from the selfish set of people who believe that the status quo must remain. Right? Let's have a look at it. The like you rightly said, those people who have been benefiting from the petroleum subsidy, those people who have been benefiting from the dollar arbitrage, right? Suddenly, somebody just deregulated everything, and you want these people to not to fight back.
Right? He removed the feeding bottle from their mouth.
Yeah, he removed the feeding bottle from them. So the ordinary novice on the road too. The hardship is so much without knowing that all these people, they just needed people around them to be shouting the same all this stuff. Right? They are going to be hardship initially. A lot of things have been disrupted. A lot of things has been demented. A lot of things is bad now. The whole situation, and it is easy. It is easy to destroy, right? But very, very difficult to build. So it's not easy. Like you rightly said, all the money we are paying, we are using 95% of our total earning to service debt. Somebody just came and he said, "Okay, let me deregulate. Let us have a lot of money. Then he pay back all the debt. We have a lot of money. The state governor, he give them triple times 10 of what they are having before, right? So they can now pay their debt. They can now do infrastructure. They can now complete infrastructure. He now continue building the infrastructure. Yeah, and it's the bedrock of development. The infrastructure is building. The light is generating light, is constructing road, every now and then. I know it's not easy in Nigeria, but we have to eat something, I mean, bitter before we can eat something sweet. It's not easy. It's not easy. No doubt about it. Those people, the previous government, they bastardized the whole country. Right? For somebody now to come, right, is now doing his best possible to making sure that it is not business as usual. You have to reintroduce business process engineering to making sure that we reposition Nigeria to meet the 21st century challenges. So these are the area. This is what we want. This is how Nigeria should, a country, right, must be run. That is running the country like somebody who knows what he's doing. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Lanta. One thing that actually, made me hungry was when I was listening to Rosemary, and it says that Tinubu does not have capacity. Tinubu does not have capacity. When you look at Lagos, where Tinubu was governor for 8 years, and you look for River State, Meeting State, River State, who do you think has capacity between them? I mean, it's just like comparing apple with orange, if you know what I mean. Because Tinubu did extremely well. It took Lagos from 500 million, 500 million naira internet generated revenue to about 50 billion, to about 5 billion. I'm not very sure the figure. But what did Amechi do? It was only Wike got there that Wike made a difference. So is it an Amechi who signed a contract with the Chinese, signed a contract in Mandarin? He doesn't know what to do in the country, and he signed it. Is that a man who has capacity to rule this country?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think those comments were were largely emotional, not in any way based on fact. I think if we look at two optics, if we look at, prior to Tinubu's presidency, Tinubu didn't only lay good groundwork in Lagos State where he was governor, but he has also been able to sustain governance in Lagos that successive governments have actually built on where the previous administration ended. That is a very, very important thing, for a country that wants to continue on that progressive chart. Because what we've seen in Nigeria before is, an administration comes in, they get rid of everything that the previous administration did, and then they try to do their own thing. At the end of the day, it's 2 steps forward, 5 steps backward. It takes a lot of discipline and capacity to be able to set that type of an arrangement. So I strongly disagree with him on that one. Secondly, if we look at the major policies that Tinubu administration has implemented, these are policies that a lot of Nigerians have called for, but no one has had the political will to actually do it. One, is the the petroleum subsidy. I mean, I don't think anybody listening to us would disagree that that was a very, very difficult thing to do. But that is where you see leaders, or you can differentiate between leaders and people who are just parading the corridors of power. It takes leadership, to be able to implement those types of policies, and then in addition to that, to deregulate, the currency exchange. I mean, these are very massive policies which no one has demonstrated any capacity to be able to accomplish in Nigeria, and he has accomplished them. There are many more things on the horizon, but I think if we take these two items, those to me demonstrate someone who has political will, who is able to lead a multi-ethnic, multi-religious coalition, and who has a lot of capacity to implement those hard policies that Nigeria needs to put it on the path to prosperity.
Thank you very much. So, Lighton, when you look at this gang up between the North and they're trying to invite a few people from the south. So, but what they are trying to do cleverly is to find a way to put Atiku at the top of the ticket. They are saying, it was Peter Obi, you come, we'll give you vice president, I will spend only 4 years, and after 4 years, then you can become president. They are trying to sell that to the Igbos. Do you think these Igbos are still as gullible as the Fulani think they are? Do you think they can cajole the Igbos this time around?
Yeah, I've seen. Thank you for that question. First and foremost, I've seen a lot of Igbos saying that it is either Peter Obi or North or nothing else. They don't even want coalition. I listened to his spokesperson. I mean the spokesman. The spokesman, right on the TV, maybe the day before yesterday or yesterday. So I heard him talking. He said, no, there's no way to coalition. They are not going to form a coalition with anybody. But what we are saying in essence is the Igbo too, they are where they know what they are doing. Nobody can take any gentleman agreement that okay, after 4 years, it will be our turn. What happened after 4 years? If you say no, I'm going to contest again. So there is disagreement between them, and it continues. We might remove him and put another Southerners there. So a lot of things can happen right along the line within 4 years. So the Igbo, what I'm saying in essence, what I see in essence is the Igbo should not. We need South. It is the Sultan of Southerner. The Igbo should not be an impediment to the progress of the Southerner. Where it is Southerner turn to spend it here, they want to bring one Hausa to come and spend 4 years out of the they might edge out a Yoruba, a fellow Southerner. So it is not done. Let Southerner spend their 8 years. We can now be talking about okay, southwest. I mean southeast. It is now the turn of southeast. So we cannot be like we did to Abiola now. Don't you? I mean, like we did to Abiola. So let's not belabor what is not. I mean, we are not what not to belabor. So that is it. Thank you.
Super. I'm looking at that coalition. You know what? There's nothing wrong in having an alliance to come together, to work together, to win an election. But as Letter has just said, we need some kind of balance in Nigeria. We already have spent 8 years. No. We need somebody from the south to spend 8 years. Or if not one person, maybe two people. 4 years, 4 years. Now, somebody is coming back and saying, okay, we want to form a coalition. We want to put Atiku back on the ticket. So the best ticket, the best coalition they can have, as far as I am concerned, if their coalition is to work, Peter Obi must be at the top of that ticket. He's the one who has about 6.1 million obedient votes. So if Atiku can bring his own 6.9 million votes plus that of Obi, then Tinubu will have, work to do to remain in office. So, do you think that coalition can ever produce Peter Obi?
Thank you very much. So I think one important thing to highlight is that what happened in 2023 is in the past. There are emerging political realignments ahead of 2027. I would say the PDP as a political party is out, in my opinion. You need a strong candidate to compete with Bola Tinubu in the 2027 elections. And so far, it looks like Atiku is still probably considering very, very strongly coming through on the PDP platform as a presidential candidate. Now, put that aside because that is a significant development. On the other side, you have Peter Obi, who is still in Labour, who has said he will stay in Labour, but I'm sure he's looking across to see what is happening in the other groups. The dissidents, I will call them, or the coalition of the disgruntled from APC, are kind of shopping around to see where they can stay. I think initially there were rumors. I'm not sure if it's confirmed that they joined the SDP. If they haven't, I'm sure they are looking at their options in terms of where to go. Maybe SDP, maybe ADC. I don't think anybody will go back to PDP with the state that the PDP is in. But there are two things that are emerging. I think if all of these splinter groups can come together and support a southern candidate, the reality is that even if that candidate loses in 2027, there's one thing that you are sure of, which is that power will return to the North in 2031. That is a no-brainer. If, however, amongst their political posturing, I believe Peter Obi will contest, but if another consensus candidate is brought forward, so maybe if Atiku contests, that, to be very honest, would destroy that gentleman's agreement of power switching between the North and the South. Because what that does is that in 2031, if a Southern candidate now gets on the ballot to contest, you cannot now say it is the North's turn. Why? Because Atiku Abubakar, he would have contested not only in 2023, when at that point in time it was supposed to be in the South, but also in 2027. My instincts tell me that Atiku Abubakar is so selfish that he will not relinquish his right to contest because it is all about him. And that ambition on its own is going to destroy that coalition. So, to be very honest, I don't see that coalition coalescing around and I will say, use this word, a proper candidate, in which would be Peter Obi, maybe with somebody like Nasir El-Rufai, on the top of, as the vice presidential candidate, or even somebody like Bala Mohammed, who is currently a PDP governor, but however, their posturing, may bring people together, may kind of fall onto him. So this is the issue, that we're dealing with now. If we have more than one candidate contesting as an opposition against, and I mean a credible candidate, then that election will go to Bola Tinubu. I think the only scenario that we have to have a very well contested election in 2027 is if there are only two major candidates. Bola Tinubu potentially against Peter Obi, I think would be a really tough matchup. I think anything other than that would be giving Bola Tinubu another 4-year term.
Yeah, chance. Yeah, okay. This is going to be the last question. It's going to be for you. As Shukwa raised a very, very, very valid point, which I want you to talk about. So, if in 2023 it was the turn of the South to produce a presidential candidate, Atiku contested, and he almost won. If he contests again in 2027, and he loses again, Tinubu wins again. When it's 2031, and the turn of the North, we did not now be saying that nobody should contest from the South. We did be still start to stop it or be from contesting 2031. Because there's no agreement. So will Peter be a potential candidate in 2031? And will he be able to get the whole of the southern votes?
That is what we've been saying. The Atiku has laid a bad precedent, right? And for him to, he doesn't believe in gentleman agreement. That when North finishes their term, the power should come back to the South. when South finishes their term, he should go back to the North. So he has breached it. So now he has given, like I said, he has laid a precedent, bad precedent. So anybody now, 2020, 2031, anybody that can now contest. Right. So after it might be Obi can contest, and the South might decide, okay, and the middle better can vote for Obi. So that is it. But is contesting because they believe that they have the money, and it's the younger establishment that they've inflicted on the people. And whatever they do, they can do. I mean, nobody can question them. They are above the law. Ordinarily, when they say agreement is an agreement. You should jettison your inordinate ambition. What stops him? Look at Tinubu. He waited for the term of Buhari. Now he supported. He gave Buhari vice presidential candidate. Right? He said, "Okay, continue." Yeah, he had the wherewithal to become the president. Right? But he said no after Jonathan. He just let the northerner go. So and he waited. And after the 8 years, then he said, okay, it is now my turn. It is now the turn of the southern part of the country. So that is it. Everybody, we must make a sacrifice for a purpose. Everybody must be able to make a sacrifice. That, okay, for the good and benefit of the whole country. Right? Not for your selfish end. Right? If Atiku has been a statesman, he has behaved like a statesman and thought like a statesman that he has tried to be, he should have pushed somebody in the front. Okay, after your own tenure, then let me come. Maybe it would just be a Afobajena, right? It would just be dictating the tone. Okay, do this, do that. But it doesn't do that. So I don't know how his dream and aspiration can become a reality in Nigeria.
Yeah. It should have become the national leader of PDP, just like Bola Tinubu became the national leader of
Yes.
But anyway, our time is fast spent. I want to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Olalawal, all the way from Calgary. Thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
And my very good friend, Mr. Olaitan, thank you so much for a wonderful contribution.
Yes, my pleasure. Thanks for having me too.
To all our viewers, please, if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And please, if you like this video, please click the like button and then try to send it to other people so that other people can also listen to it. So this is where we're going to stop today. So we hope to see you again next week Sunday by God's grace. God bless you. Goodbye.